Today then is our chance to rebuild Chelsea, the worst finish of Chelsea have ever had in their history in the Premier League, coming 12th. It's time to turn that form around. They've done a lot of transfer business in the last 12 months, and Todd Boehly has come in and splashed some serious cash. So there's some fantastic young players here at Chelsea. There's also some holes in the squad with a lot of players moving out to Saudi Arabia. So we're going to be rebuilding Chelsea as realistic as possible over the next 5 years to see if we can win them their first ever treble. What's going on there, guys? Kempy here, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another rebuild from myself. And you guys have been loving these recently, which means I've been loving making them because the support you guys have been giving has been absolutely crazy, and I am so thankful to every single one of you. So make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to the channel. Without further ado, let's get right in to this Chelsea rebuild. We've made a tactic. We made a Pochettino 4-2-3-1 that was released on Friday. A very good little tactic, as realistic as I could make it to sort of Poch's style of play. And you can see already I've made my signings. I'll go through them in just a second. But in goal, we've got a sweeper keeper on defend. It's Diogo Costa. No further instructions. A wing back on attack at right back. Stay wider and tackle harder. Wesley Fofana and Thiago Silva, both ball playing defenders with no further instructions. And a wing back on support on the left with stay wider and tackle harder. That back four is fantastic for Chelsea. I don't think they're going to touch that at all this summer. They've also got Badiashile, and I think Levi Colwill will end up staying as well rather than leaving to go to Brighton. Hopefully he's going to be a figure for the next 5 years. In midfield, I have brought in Moises Caicedo, a deep line playmaker on defend, more direct passes and tackle harder, next to Enzo Fernandez with dribble, run wide the ball and get further forward. To be fair, them two are probably going to be switched. That is sort of what I was thinking was going to be Mason Mount, but obviously he is now looking to go to Manchester United. But I think Moises Caicedo is the most realistic signing in that role. On the right, I've gone with Noni Madueke with sit narrower and tackle harder. He's been a lot of talk recently about how he is going to have a breakout season next season. I think that's possible, you know. And the left-hand side is Raheem Sterling, an inside forward on attack, sit narrower and tackle harder. Obviously, we have also got Mykhailo Mudryk, who could play in that left-wing role, so we'll see how he develops as well. In the cam role is a brand new player. Kai Havertz is out. We have brought in Christopher Nkunku. Obviously, this is what's happened in real life, and a fantastic signing for Chelsea as well. We've roam from position and tackle harder on the shadow striker there. And the advanced forward up front as well. It looks like Nicholas Jackson is going to come in. So I've got him as an advanced forward on attack with roam from position and tackle harder. The transfers we've done for this first season, I've tried to be as sort of realistic as possible. So Hudson-Odoi has gone out on loan. I don't know if he's going to Saudi. I don't know if he's going to Germany. United picked him up in R1, but it looked like he could leave, but I didn't know what to do with him. So he's gone out on loan for now. Pulisic just left the club to go to AC Milan. Trevor Chalobah, there's a lot of talk about him going as well. £30 million I brought in for him. And Romelu Lukaku, I can't imagine he's going to stay around. Apparently he's rejected Saudi, but he could be going to Italy. In this save, he's gone to Real Madrid for £53 million, as well as, you know, the absolute exodus of players from Chelsea leaving to Saudi Arabia. We've got Koulibaly to Al Hilal, 25 million. Eddie Mendy, Al Hilal, 20 million. Ziyech to Al Nassr for 10 million. Kante, I think, has gone for free to Al Ittihad, so he's gone there. We've also ended up selling Kovacic to City for 25. Mount to United for 60, I think, is going to happen. And Arsenal have signed Kai Havertz for 65 million. So a massive clear out from Chelsea in real life has led to us bringing in a few players which we've seen already. Moises Caicedo, I think, is a fantastic midfielder. I think suits Chelsea down to a T. I think will suit Poch down to a T as well, just 21 years of age. Ready for that next step. I think he's choosing between Chelsea and Arsenal, but if Arsenal get Rice, I think he goes to Chelsea. So I'm Moises Caicedo then for 75 leading up to £80 million. That's as cheap as they would give me. Nkunku I brought in for 60 million from Leipzig. I'm not sure what the deal is in real life. It might even be a free contract, but I paid 60 million for him, and he's come in that cam role. We've brought in Nicholas Jackson for 25 million from Villarreal. This guy looks like he's coming in real life. To be honest, I don't know too much about him. He's a very fast striker with decent finishing. Senegalese, 7 caps for Senegal, 5 goals is quite impressive. Very consistent as well, which is great on a striker. So we'll see how he develops. Who else have we got in here? Then we've got Diogo Costa bringing it in goal, £27.5 million. Eddie Mendy's gone. There's talk they could be sticking with Kepa. I don't know if that's going to happen, and I think if you're a Chelsea fan, you're very worried if you are. I think Onana's going to go to United, and I think Chelsea will end up going for Diego Costa or David Raya. I chose Diego Costa for £27.5 million, and Gabri Veiga, as well as the centre mid, I've brought in £23 million. He's got a release clause at Celta Vigo, lots of club interested, including Chelsea, and with the amount of midfielders that have left the club over the 2 windows have got here, I think it was key to bring in someone like Gabri Veiga to sit alongside Conor Gallagher and Ruben Loftus-Cheek and hopefully do absolute bits for us. We've got Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta, Badiashile, Colville, Cucurella, Gallagher, Veiga, Detro Fofana, Loftus-Cheek, Mudryk, Armando Broja and Marcus Bettinelli as the backup to the team as well. We also know there's some fantastic young players at Chelsea. You've got Lewis Hall, great left back. We've loaned him out to Middlesbrough. See how he can do out there. He's got 5-star potential, so he could be a key star. Harvey Vale, Malang Sarr's leaving. Sasade Kasade, I don't know what's happening in real life. I've loaned him out to Reading. There seems to be a lot of talk around him. Carlin Chukwuemeka, fantastic talent. Could stay at Chelsea next year, but I managed to keep hold of Loftus-Cheek. It could be that Chukwuemeka is the backup to Nkunku, not Loftus-Cheek, but I've cloned him out. We've got Hudson-Odoi out on loan as well, and then not to mention a few fantastic players that are still here. Malo Gusto, who I'm trying to get out on loan still for this season to keep Azpilicueta for 1 more year. Then he'll be the backup to Reece James. Andre Santos has got 4-star potential, Brazilian, signed from Vasco da Gama, looks fantastic, 2-star ability, 5-star potential. He's going to go out on loan. Ian Matson, Florian Andergin, Gabriel Slaninia as well, the US keeper. Hopefully he can go out on loan and get some game time. And next season, I think there won't be too many signings because there's a lot of great young players that are going to come into this Chelsea side, and that is what they've done. They've signed a lot of young players that are going to come in and eventually be there. I just think last season was an absolute stinker. This season, we've got the Conference League. I'm not sure if we won the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. We've obviously come 12th in the league. We won the Carabao Cup in the Sim, so which is a bit frustrating. So we've got the Conference League as well. So I guess we're hoping to win that, but we'll ignore that. It doesn't really matter. It's all about the Premier League. How can we do in season number 1? And the test we've done with this tactic, we ended up coming 2nd in the league, which is very, very impressive. But we'll see what happens this time. Season number 1 with Chelsea. How are we going to do? If you guys can, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and follow on all these 4 wonderful things. We've got TikTok. We've got Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube second channel, Sort Out SI, Sloppy Joe's podcast, and a Patreon as well. There'll be names on the screen right now. There's 5 of you absolute legends, and I'm so thankful to anyone that signs up to the Patreon. On the Patreon, you do get this rebuild file link, so you can pick up the save from where we are at the end of season number 5. So if you do want to pick up this Chelsea save from season 5, or the Barcelona save, or the Manchester United save we have done in the last couple of weeks, get out into the description below. Patreon link is there, and you guys are helping me make this dream come a reality. First season with Chelsea then, we managed to win the Europa Conference League and come in the top 4. The Conference League, obviously, we're not really interested in. I thought we might win it. I mean, you can see Armando Broja scored 15 goals. Probably showed the team we played out in this league. In fact, Armando Broja seemed to have had an unbelievable season across the board. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson is a signing Chelsea bringing him in real life. FM thinks Broja is better. 44 appearances, 46 goals for the Albanian. I mean, what an unbelievable season for him. I'm not sure what to do with him now because I was probably going to sell him at the end of season 1 and bring in a star striker. But Armando Broja has absolutely killed the scene, so fair play to him. We are 4th place. It's good to get back in the Champions League. It looks like Arsenal are the team to miss out in 6th place. It was Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal. They had to do the traditional top 6. Newcastle dropped down to 12th position. So a decent season, a very tight season as well. From United to Arsenal, 1 point from 3rd to 6th. So what a final day that would have been. And did we win on the final day? We actually lost to Palace and nearly bottled it. So and drew to Liverpool the game before. So, choking it a little bit at the end, but we managed to sneak through, which is very, very good to see. Data Hub this season, we scored 2.29 goals per game, conceding just 1.03. And we know Armando Broja was the star man in terms of goals, but who was the best all season? It wasn't Kepa Arrizabalaga. It was Christopher Nkunku, a 7.37 average rating, 12 goals and 19 assists. Sterling with 12 goals, 17 assists. Broja with 46 goals, 6 assists. Wesley Fofana scoring 14 goals as well. Reece James, 1 goal, 21 assists. Loftus-Cheek as that backup cam. You guys probably thought I was crazy keeping him. 12 goals and 6 assists. Mykhailo Mudryk, 47 appearances, 14 goals, 12 assists, which means Noni Madueke didn't get much chance to play. It looked like Sterling would have gone out onto the right, Mudryk on the left, and Madueke with just 8 starts, 28 off the bench, 5 goals and 4 assists. Nicholas Jackson, 7 goals, 2 assists from 15 starts. Gabri Veiga hardly played. Cucurella hardly played. Badiashile played 17 games, which is good to see. Levi Colville only played 6 with 14 off the bench. He could be trying to force a move, to be fair to him. Enzo Fernandez with a fantastic season as well. But very happy with how this season has turned out. I mean, probably better than I ever expected. In terms of the players we've brought in that have done very, very well. The players that like Mudryk, who have this second season, have now settled in, had a very, very good season. Caicedo to mention as well. Obviously not going to get all the goals and all the assists, but a 7.03 average rating is fantastic. And even Chile, our left back, with 10 assists is great to see. We've managed to get ourselves £134 million in transfer budget, 1.8 million in wage budget. Todd Boehly is not going to stop chucking the money about now, and that is great fun. We've got a lot of money to spend. We've got a lot of players coming back in off loan as well, so we'll see who we're going to bring in from this lot. I mean, Caicedo's had a fantastic season there. Hudson-Odoi's had a decent season at United. Lewis Hall, 46 appearances in the Championship is great. Carney Chukwuemeka, 33 is fantastic. Who else we've got? Gabriel Slanina only played 2 games for Cardiff. A little bit of an L1 for him. And Andre Santos played 26 games and got 3 assists while out on loan at Monterrey as well. So we'll see if he can come back into the team. But season 1, a definite success, back in the top 4. It's now time to build on that. And I think it's time to go and get a superstar striker to play alongside Armando Broja. Well, he's the cover star. And I did hint about getting a superstar striker. Victor Osimhen is a fantastic striker in real life. I think it's perfect for many, many teams out there. I just don't know if he's going to move this summer. There's potential that Chelsea get him as well as Nico Jackson. I just went for Jackson and that was it. Money-wise, we're quite strapped. But Osimhen's come in this summer and has done fantastic. He's matched Armando Broja's 44 games and 44 goals. I think Broja got 2 more last season. But Osimhen's been playing in the Champions League this year. And my God, has he been fantastic. He's extremely consistent, loves a big match. Value-wise is outrageous. A 7.33 average rating for him as well. We've also brought in Pau Torres from Villarreal, a left-footed centre-back, 41 games to replace Thiago Silva, obviously now like 40 years of age. So Pau Torres, Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile and Levi Colville is a fantastic back 4 sort of centre-back quadruple to play through, and a great signing as well. £70 million, so very expensive, but brought in. And Ferran Torres is another player that I brought in on loan. I decided to try and loan out a few of the young wingers. I think Madueke left on loan to see if he could get more game time. And rather than sign a winger, we loaned in Ferran Torres for a year, 23 games, 28 off the bench, 4 goals, 7 assists, a fairly average season, but I think a very, very clever loan move, and we got a £39 million buyback on him as well. I'm not going to activate that. It was more for cover, but very happy with the signing of Ferran Torres on loan. £11 million, a good signing to get in for a year and to definitely help us over the line. I don't think there's any more sales on this side that we wouldn't have seen. There's not. So just on this side then, £51 million brought in. Marco Correa has left to go to Barcelona, which means that Hall has become our backup left back. Ian Maatison left for £16.5 million to West Ham as well. So a sale of the 2 left backs has left us with Hall and Chilwell. But the question is, how have we done in the Premier League? Season 1, we ended up getting top 4. Season 2, we're going to lift the trophy. We're going to bring it back to Stamford Bridge, and in quite some emphatic fashion as well. 88 points, 27 wins, 7 draws, and just 4 losses. 56 goal difference. Osimhen second to Erling Haaland in the Golden Boot race. Third in average ratings, assists, and Cuckoo tops it above Kevin De Bruyne on 13 is fantastic. 8 points clear of Arsenal, Liverpool in 3rd, City in 4th, Spurs in 5th, Newcastle 6th, United 7th, Everton 8th. I was thinking someone's dropped out there, but no one's dropped out, just the top 8. But yeah, a very, very good season. Data hub wise, again, we are looking extremely strong. We're looking at now 2.37 goals per game, conceding just 0.89. And if we look actually at the league as well, we scored the most goals with 90. We're 3rd in conceded on 34. Possession wise, we're not on here, but I'm not really looking to keep too much possession. We're looking to have lots of shots and concede as few as possible while doing that. And it's ended up getting us a Premier League trophy, which is fantastic. In terms of average ratings, again, I mean, Osimhen is obviously going to be at the top of this list with 44 goals and 9 assists. Dacho Fofana has been out on loan, 11 goals and 9 assists. It's great to see. Mudryk has backed up last season's double-double with another double-double with 11 and 10 in less games as well. Wesley Fofana being an absolute danger from set pieces with 18 again. Sterling with 15 and 14, and Cuckoo with 8 goals but 20 assists. Reece James, 3 goals, 17 assists. Chilwell with 12 assists. Nico Jackson's gone out on loan, so I think Fofana and Jackson went out, and I kept him Madueke possibly. He scored 20 goals this season, Jackson, and 15 at West Ham, so very good to see he was doing well. Casado's done great. Brozier as a backup striker is perfect. 16 goals from him. Costa having a great season. Pau Torres a great season. Enzo a great season, and I'm very, very happy with the team at this stage. There's a few players here that now are going to move on. Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, I imagine sort of Conor Gallagher. Gabby Vega's not really broke into the team, so he might move on. Might need to bring in a better backup as well for Nkuku, but we'll see what we can do in the transfer market. A little bit less money this season, just the £65 million to go out and spend. Season 2, definitely a success, a Premier League trophy. Sadly, nothing in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, and quarter-final in the Champions League as well. So definitely some progression to make. Maybe a trophy and a Premier League next season will be fantastic. Let's get some signings in. Let me show you season number 3. Well, I said for season number 3, there might not be too many signings. In fact, I made a total of 0. I actually brought in no one this summer. The only person I really sold as well was Kepa. A few players left in terms of being released in terms of age. So Hudson-Odoi went, Thiago Silva went, Azpilicueta went. But with a fantastic sort of youth here at Chelsea, we didn't really need to dip into the market too much. I mean, talking of the youth as well, we've got 3 players here that have come through the academy in the recent years. This guy's 15. Carwyn Vickers, the Welshman, is unbelievable, and he's 15 years of age. So we'll be excited to see how he develops. I think he's going to go out and get a loan spell. Actually, he's 15, so he can't, but he's very consistent as well. He's on 180 quid a week, and he's one of the best youngsters I've ever seen come through the academy. Harry Powers, a striker as well, looks fantastic. 6'1", 18 years of age, scored 41 goals in non-competitive games this season, extremely consistent. And Paul Sampson, another great one, left back, Nigerian, 18 years of age, can definitely be a demon for us in the few years coming up. But this season wasn't quite as successful. I will be honest, obviously no signings were made. It was sort of a season of... I mean, we were top of the league we're going to put it last the way. We were top of the league for 250 days, but didn't lift the trophy. Just 2 points behind Man City, 81 points. It's still very impressive, but a little bit of dodgy form towards the end of the season. Quarter-final of the Champions League again by Real Madrid. Semi-final of the FA Cup by Villa. Third round in the Carabao by Newcastle. All very, very frustrating. I mean, the squad is looking good. It's a very young squad, which I do quite like. I think it's sort of alluding to what Chelsea are trying to do in real life. I mean, the bench is Slonina, Gusto, Badiashile, Colville, Hall, Andre Santos, Vega, Madueke, Chukwuemeka, Fofana, Brozier, Jackson. I mean, that I think is exactly what Chelsea are looking to do. Have some fantastic young talent on the bench. I think that's what we went for this season. We were very hardly carried by Osimhen with 56 goals, 8 assists. Brozier off the bench with 26 goals, very impressive. And Cuckoo really stepped up this season, 20 goals and 18 assists. Mudryk with 9 goals, 14 assists. Fofana with 9 goals, Madueke with 6 goals, Sterling with 13 assists. It's great to see. Reece James with 17 assists. Chilwell didn't do quite as well this season in terms of assists, just getting 9, so didn't quite break the double figures mark. But a good season, a one where we probably, helped the bank a little bit. We didn't completely go under like last season. I mean, debts-wise, there's no debt here at Chelsea. 83 million in transfer debt isn't too bad. But we've got lots of money this season. 130 million, 1.6 million in wage budget as well. So a bit of a nothing in season number 3, but I think now we can build for season 4 and 5. Go and get some mental players to hopefully help us get to that treble. That is our goal at the end of season 5. So let's go for that now then. Season 4, some new signings, and hopefully picking this team up to back where we belong in the top of the Premier League title. Well, our big signing this summer is a tricky little Brazilian winger. Angelo has been brought in for 81 million. After smashing it in Brazil, he moved to Atletico Madrid for 22 million in just one season. They've made 60 million pounds. We've brought him in, and he's a fantastic talent, I've got to say. 13 goals and 11 assists from that right wing role. 22 years of age. His stats are brilliant. Some fantastic dribbling, acceleration, pace, off-the-ball work, vision, technique. His finishing's decent enough as well. First touch, crossing. Brilliant player overall this season. 15 goals and 18 assists. I love to see. In terms of the other players brought in, Liberty Rezive is a young centre-back that's been brought in as well. I think we've ended up moving on. Benoit Badiashile, we've brought in this guy, a young regen from West Brom. Had one season there, 45 games in the Championship, a very impressive total. Coming to Chelsea, played 19 games and 7 off the bench at 19 years of age as a centre-back. Extremely impressive. Has got 16 heading, 14 marking, 16 tackling, 16 passing, which I absolutely love as well. And is very consistent. So a fantastic signing to him for just £20 million is absolutely fantastic business. And Alex Scott as well. I mean, why not bring in Alex Scott? I think he's sort of at that point in his career in this save. He's been at Southampton now for a few years after moving from Bristol City. He has done very well in the Premier League, and it's time for him now to step up to a big boy club, and that's exactly what he's done. 23 appearances, 15 off the bench, I think is a very good number for Alex Scott. He's now made 3 caps for England, 3.5 star rated player, 4.5 star potential ability. And we all know how good Alex Scott can be. 11 goals and 5 assists in that as well. And again, we didn't go too mental on signings, but just a few players coming in to help us get over the line. Badiashile did end up leaving to go to Arsenal and played 9 games and 12 assists. So he's really just not developed into what I hoped he would have, hence the signing of Rezive as the backup centre-back. But this season, the Premier League trophy has come back to Stamford Bridge. 89 points, our best yet. 1 point above the 88 of season number 2, which is fantastic. We've won a cup as well. The Carabao Cup has come in, which is brilliant. So we now want a double. We need one more to make a treble, but things are going very well. Mudryk with a 7.47 average rating is fantastic to see. 9 goals and 15 assists from him. I mean, Osimhen is just ridiculous. 52 goals this season. Brozier, again, as a backup, 20 goals. Literally the perfect player. Does not moan at all. Loves being at Chelsea. Scores lots of goals whenever it's required of him. And is fantastic. So a big fan. Angelo in 3rd place with 15 goals, 18 assists. Nkunku, 13 goals and 24 assists. Alex Scott with 11 and 5. Mudryk with 9 and 15. Datro Fofana, 33 off the bench, so he's still getting lots of game time, 8 and 4. Carney Chukwuemeka, 23 off the bench, 7 goals, 2 assists. Sterling, obviously now slowly winding down. I think he's 30 years of age, 7 goals, 7 assists. He's actually 32. So it's about time he was to move on, I think. Enzo Fernandez, 21 games, so not playing quite as many, but 3 goals and 5 assists. I mean, looking at the squad in terms of goalkeepers, we've got Costa and Slaninia. Right backs is Reece James and Malo Gusto. Centre backs is Fofana, Torres, Rezive and Colville. Left backs is Chilwell and Hall. Centre mids, we've got Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos and Alex Scott. Andre Santos played lots of games this season, which is fantastic to see. Recently brought in for Chelsea in real life. 42 appearances, just 2 goals and 5 assists, but great to see him getting some game time. Wingers wise, we've got Angelo, Sterling, Fofana and Mudryk. Cam wise, we've got Chukwuemeka and Nkunku. And up front is Osimhen and Brozier. We've also got Jackson, Gallagher, Madueke and Carwyn Vickers, the 5-star youngster who is outrageous, still here at the club. He can now go out on loan if we wish to. He couldn't last season because he was only 15. Harry Powell did go out on loan and scored 23 goals in the Championship for Sheffield United. And Paul Sampson also went on loan to Luton. Also played 46 games, which is great to see both of them smashing the performances and doing very well. So very happy with season number 2. A trophy, a cup, and hopefully next season a Champions League, an FA Cup and a Premier League. That is the goal for season number 3. Can we do it? £103 million to spend. Let's see who we can bring in. For this final season then, if you guys can, make sure to smash the likes and the comments down below. I absolutely love the interaction that's been going on recently on the channel. You guys have been absolutely killing it. All the love on the rebuilds have been mental. The tactics have been flying as well. And the subs, I mean, I'm mind blown. We've grown nearly 500 in like a month and a half. So thank you so much. We're going to keep going for the rest of the summer, and then FM24 is going to be an absolute blow up. So you're here early, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also get a comment down below on how we've been getting on. And also, I have mentioned before in this video, Patreon again. Them 5 absolute legends will be on screen right now. Thank you so much to them. Obviously, Patreon, if you do want to get this rebuild file, is at the top of the description below. Head down there. I think it's the middle tier of $5 a month, and you can sign up to get this rebuild file. I mean, it's a file you're going to want as well, because this season we brought in Kevin De Bruyne and Alphonso Davies. Because why not? No, Kevin De Bruyne was wanted out by Manchester City. He's 36 years of age. I thought, you know what, it'd be quite a nice end to his career to come back to Chelsea. 45 appearances, 12 goals and 22 assists. I think he agreed also. I sort of thought, you know, improve that Andre Santos centre mid role. Also improve on Carney Chukwuemeka. Bit of experience. someone who knows how to win. He's just won a treble, so hopefully he could have brought it back here for Chelsea. 45 games as well, so great to see De Bruyne still doing bits. And Alphonso Davies, because Chilwell is now 30 years of age. Alphonso Davies is the best left back in the world. I mean, how cool would it be to see him in Chelsea? 94 million is a bit pricey, but you got to pay the best to get the best. And a very good left back he is at that as well. And in terms of sales, and we have now sold Noni Madueke and Kane Chukwuemeka. Both of them didn't really develop as much as we would have wanted. But the question you're all here for is, how do we do in the competitions? I won a treble, sort of. I'm not going to title it that I've won a treble, obviously, on the thumbnail. But the goal was to get the FA Cup, the Premier League and the Champions League. And to be honest, we've only won one of them in the Premier League. The FA Cup and the Champions League quarter-final in both of them. We did, however, win the Carabao. We won the Community Shield as well, which is fantastic to see. And I mean, this season was a very, very good season again. Our record points on 94. We were just 2 games away from going invincible, and that was to the greatest team ever in Manchester United. So you can't really, you back it, It's understandable. Do you get me? I mean, 46 goals for Osimhen, 20 for Brozier as a stand at this point. Dacia Fofana this season has done fantastic with 15 goals. Obviously, De Bruyne, 12 goals, 22 assists. Angelo, 11 and 14. Alex Scott, 10 and 8. And Cuckoo, 10 and 10. Dropped off slightly because of how influential De Bruyne was. I mean, Mudryk, Sterling, Fofana, Fernandes, Caicedo. I think we've done an unbelievable job here at rebuilding Chelsea. There's no massive debt on the club whatsoever. There's like 15 million in transfer budget, which is great. I mean, you've got 80 million to spend if you do want to pick this save up. So the file is down below for you guys to download in the Patreon. Thank you for watching massively. I mean, it's a great rebuild here at Chelsea. Next week up, we've got Arsenal, we've got Spurs, and we're going to have another team at the end of the week as well. So make sure you're around for that one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.